Good morning, viewers, listeners. If you can hear me this morning, my name is Frederick Kadzashie, and I'm here today to share some little knowledge God has given me, and that is about grace. I don't know what you've heard, maybe this is your first time, but I want to talk about what you think of when you hear the word grace. Many people think that grace is only at the time of salvation, but grace is not only for salvation. Grace is a person, and I want to talk to you about the 7 benefits of grace this morning. And so give me a little bit of your time and just sit down, stand up, watch, and be blessed. Now, the first benefit of grace that I want to talk about is that grace forgives us our sins. Even though we don't deserve grace, even though we don't deserve to be forgiven, God, through His grace, was able to forgive us our sins. If you read Isaiah 43 verse 25, it tells you that God forgave us our sin when we were still sinners. Because Jesus Christ died on the cross, and Jesus Himself is grace. That's the first benefit, that God forgives us our sins through grace. The second benefit I want to talk about is that grace sustains us. And why would I say that? Grace sustained me throughout the night. Grace sustained you throughout the night. Grace sustains you. Because Jesus Christ is the only one that can sustain you, and His name is grace. In Philippians chapter 2 verse 13, if you read Philippians 2:13, it tells you how grace can sustain your life. I just want you to know that grace is the only thing that can sustain your life. Grace also heals us. And this is a personal testimony that I want to tell you this morning, this afternoon, this evening. Grace healed me last night, and that gave me the ability to sit here this morning, to be able to share with you what I'm sharing with you. And that's what grace has done. In Psalm 147 verse 3, it said, God heals the broken and hearted, and what? He binds up our wounds. That's what grace does. Grace heals us. And the fourth one that I want to talk about is that grace liberates us. What does it mean that when grace is liberating? It means that you are no more under the law, but grace has liberated you to come under something that is so powerful, to liberate you from your sin, from your weakness, from your difficulties. That's what grace does. Today, if you are in any kind of bondage, let me let you know, grace liberated Fred. And today He's able to tell you in Matthew chapter 11 verse 28, through 30, grace is the only one that can liberate you. Because our relationship with Jesus isn't about what we do, but it's all about what Jesus Christ did upon the cross. And that is what I want to bring to you, that grace liberates us. Grace is liberating you right now, as you can hear me. Grace is liberating you right now. Grace also it gives us talent. Why would I say that? I'm sitting here this morning because God gave me the talent and the desire to do what I'm doing. And God has given you also a talent. If you read in Romans chapter 12 verse 6, God has given you a talent. And that God-given talent has to be used for what? Him alone. And Him alone should you use the talent to glorify. I don't know what talent God has given you, but I want you to tap into that talent. Don't stop. Don't give up. I want you to reach out and say, I can do this through Christ, because that is what grace does in your life. Grace also transforms us by the renewing of our mind. In Romans chapter 12 verse 2, it tells that if we renew our mind, then we become more like Jesus. And that is what grace can do. Grace can transform your life. Grace transformed my life, and I cannot even give you all the testimony. But today, I'm able to sit here and tell you that grace is transforming your life. My brother, my sister, my father and my mother, I know you can hear me. Let grace transform your life. Your life will never be the same. Grace also matures us, and that is in 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 18. It says that God is the one working and making you like Jesus, and that can only happen through grace. Read it for yourself. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 18. God can mature you. You might think that you can't do this, but God can mature you like He has matured me, to have the confidence to sit in front of this camera and talk to you. That is how God can mature you. Yours might become a better husband. Yours might be become a better father. Yours might be become a better employee, an employer. But let the grace of God mature you. Let the grace of God bring you from the point A to point B. And that is what it means that God has matured you. Today, I know you've heard me, but let grace transform your life. Grace is not a topic. Grace is not a subject. Grace is a person, and his name is Jesus Christ. Let your life be transformed, be healed, be matured, be forgiven, and let God alone be glorified. Once again, thank you for listening and watching. Remain blessed until we meet next time. Bye-bye.